On April 8, 2025, the Trump administration announced the reinstatement of a controversial policy fining migrants who defy deportation orders. This decision, met with immediate backlash from immigration advocates, marks another chapter in Trump's hardline approach to immigration enforcement. The policy, previously enacted during his first term but later rescinded by the Biden administration, allows the government to levy hefty fines on individuals who fail to leave the United States after receiving a final deportation order. This announcement has sent ripples of anxiety through immigrant communities across the nation, particularly among those facing the already daunting prospect of deportation. The policy's potential to financially cripple individuals and families, coupled with the looming threat of property seizures, has fueled fear and uncertainty. As the details of the policy continue to unfold, many are left grappling with the potential consequences and the uncertain future that lies ahead. The reintroduction of these fines is part of a broader Trump administration strategy to curb illegal immigration and deter individuals from overstaying their visas. By increasing the financial stakes of non-compliance, the administration aims to compel migrants to leave the country voluntarily, thereby avoiding the complexities and costs associated with forced deportations. This approach, however, has been widely criticized for its punitive nature and its potential to disproportionately impact vulnerable populations, including families with mixed immigration statuses and those struggling to make ends meet. The policy's return has also reignited the debate surrounding the use of financial penalties as a tool for immigration enforcement. Critics argue that such measures are not only inhumane, but also ineffective in addressing the root causes of migration, such as poverty, violence, and lack of opportunity in migrants' home countries. As this latest chapter in the Trump administration's immigration saga unfolds, its impact on immigrant communities and the broader national discourse on immigration remains to be seen. The financial burden imposed by the reinstated policy is substantial, with fines reaching up to $998 per day for each day an individual remains in the country after their deportation order becomes final. This daily penalty can quickly accumulate, potentially reaching over $1 million in fines for individuals who remain in the country for an extended period. The retroactive application of the policy further amplifies its potential impact, as fines can be levied for up to 5 years prior to the policy's reinstatement. This means that individuals who have been living and working in the United States for years, potentially contributing to their communities and raising families, could find themselves suddenly facing insurmountable debts to the government. This retroactive application has been a point of particular contention, with critics arguing that it unfairly punishes individuals for past actions and creates a climate of fear and uncertainty. Adding to the financial strain, the Trump administration is considering empowering authorities to seize assets to collect unpaid fines. This could include bank accounts, vehicles, and even homes, potentially stripping families of their hard-earned assets and leaving them financially devastated. The prospect of property seizure injects a new layer of fear and insecurity into immigrant communities, as individuals grapple with the possibility of losing their homes and livelihoods due to their immigration status. The potential for exorbitant fines and property seizures raises serious concerns about the policy's impact on due process and fairness. Critics argue that the threat of such severe financial penalties could discourage individuals from mounting legal challenges to their deportation orders, even in cases where they may have valid claims for relief. The Trump administration is actively promoting the use of technology to facilitate deportations and enforce the newly reinstated fines. One of the primary tools being utilized is the CBP Home app, a mobile application developed by U.S. Customs and Border Protection. The app, initially designed to provide travelers with information and resources, is now being positioned as a means for migrants to self-deport, allowing them to schedule their own departure flights and potentially qualify for subsidized travel. This push towards self-deportation through a mobile app reflects the administration's efforts to streamline the deportation process and reduce reliance on traditional enforcement methods, such as raids and detentions. However, concerns have been raised regarding the app's potential to coerce individuals into waiving their legal rights and foregoing potential avenues for relief. Beyond the CBP Home app, the administration is reportedly exploring ways to leverage technology for fine collection and enforcement. This includes integrating databases to track down individuals with deportation orders, monitor their financial activities, and potentially seize assets electronically. The use of such advanced technologies for immigration enforcement raises serious questions about privacy violations and the potential for abuse, particularly in a climate of heightened anti-immigrant sentiment. The increasing reliance on technology for deportation and fine collection is indicative of a broader trend towards the digitalization of immigration enforcement. While proponents argue that these technologies offer greater efficiency and cost-effectiveness, critics express concerns about transparency, accountability, and the potential for these systems to perpetuate existing biases within the immigration system. The Trump administration's decision to reinstate fines for migrants who defy deportation orders has ignited a firestorm of controversy, exposing the deep divisions that continue to define the national debate on immigration. The administration defends the policy as a necessary measure to uphold the rule of law and deter illegal immigration, arguing that it incentivizes compliance with immigration regulations and discourages individuals from overstaying their visas. Proponents of the measure contend that it sends a clear message that the United States takes immigration enforcement seriously and will hold individuals accountable for violating its laws. They argue that by increasing the financial stakes of non-compliance, the policy encourages individuals to pursue legal pathways for immigration and discourages attempts to circumvent the system. However, critics of the policy denounce it as cruel, unjust, and ultimately counterproductive. They argue that the exorbitant fines and the threat of property seizure will primarily harm low-income immigrants, many of whom already face significant economic hardship. These critics view the policy as another manifestation of the Trump administration's anti-immigrant agenda, designed to instill fear and discourage immigrants from seeking a better life in the United States. The policy's potential consequences for mixed-status families where some members may be U.S. citizens or legal residents are particularly concerning. The financial strain imposed by the fines and potential property seizures could have devastating ripple effects, plunging entire families into poverty and instability. Thanks for stopping by today, Hot Reels. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give it a like. Your support helps us bring you more amazing content. Please stay connected with us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Pinterest, and Threads for the latest updates and trending reels. Subscribe now and be part of the fun.